reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
There we go.
That wasn't enthusiastic
less
at all.
enthusiastic
Well,
Beyond.
that was terrible.
That was actually my first time saying Beyond ever.
All right, you want to try one more time? That was your warm up.
All right.
Go again.
Beyond.
That was a little better.
Yeah, it sounded a little forced to me.
Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 203.
Only
My name-
97 away from 300.
My name is Ryan Clements. I am one of your hosts on today's episode of Beyond in the place of our own Gregory Miller, who is about to get ready to fly to PAX right now.
Yes.
So that's what's happening. But I have the esteemed pleasure of being joined by Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
And I am also joined by News Hound that is houndless in his pursuit of knowledge.
We're
Jim
gonna
Reilly.
we're gonna talk about that name, by the way. We have some reader mail back.
Okay,
We have some-
I won't be too negative on today's show. I
Okay.
promise.
And now here's the big question though for you: Are you or are you not going to give us a News Hound bar?
I'm not barking. No.
All right.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Keep going. I'm gonna find this
And
mail.
then, last but not least, certainly not least,
A
we
girl.
have a girl.
The
We
first
have-
female
is
on
this
Beyond,
your-
right? No, it's not.
But this is your debut on
This
Beyond.
is my debut on Beyond.
Stephanie Lee, a favorite of the Podcast Unlocked community, is now made her way to Podcast Beyond. Hi.
What's up, guys?
Welcome.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
What's Podcast Unlocked?
Podcast Unlocked is IGN's coolest Xbox 360 podcast.
What's an
Slash
Xbox
K-pop.
360?
An Xbox 360 is a gaming platform competing with the PlayStation 3 and the Nintendo Wii.
I don't really call it a competition anymore. Anyway, Stephanie, how are you?
I'm good. Does the Beyond Nation know who I am? Since I've never been on.
So I'm sure they do because we have a lot of crossover listeners. A lot of the Unlocked listeners came from the Beyond
I
community. But I will say that, do you want to just introduce yourself? Give us a little background.
Oh, sure. I've usurped Colin from his Guides throne, so I'm the new Guides editor at IGN.
There you go.
Been here for about 6 months now.
You're writing the
actually.
guides?
Writing the guides.
And
the wikis, actually, now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
What
Which
are
is
you-
so much better.
What are you working on right now?
It's still... We just kicked off the end of... Well, it's the end of the summer drought now with Deus Ex. So I haven't really been working on anything, honestly.
So you're not doing any work?
Yeah, I've just been playing
She's
Sudoku.
been sitting
That's
around.
good. Just sitting around doing nothing.
Words with friends to pass the time at work.
Jesus.
Yep.
Jim, just real quick, because we are the conversational podcast. We did get a message from Beyond Assassin. I'm sorry, Bloody Assassin. I just thought his name said Beyond Assassin.
Oh, that's even worse.
He said if Jim won't bark, he no longer gets the awesome News Hound nickname. It's as simple as that.
That's
Call
fine.
him Info Boy or something. So Jim will now,
Oh my God!
Jim will
I
now be
love
known as Info Boy.
No,
Thank you, Bloody
Jim
Assassin.
Riley.
Info Boy isn't very good, but
Well,
that's fine.
Guess what? That's the title you get until you give us a bark.
Okay,
You
well,
used to bark.
I'm just never coming on this podcast again then.
You
So
say
there.
that so many times.
Yeah.
You've been on this podcast like 25 times.
I think the actual number is
Very
14.
Precise number.
No, I should have printed it out. Did you print out the?
Oh no, I didn't get the list.
One of our listeners, Mitchell Morgan, is that
Yes.
Mitchell Morgan? He sent us every so often we get updated numbers about how often everyone's been on Podcast Beyond. Jim is the most is the guest that's been on the most.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Followed by Scott Lowe, unless you count Sam Bishop as a guest, but he really wasn't a guest. He was a regular for a
Yeah,
long
he was
time.
a regular.
Clements was number 1 though.
Clements has been on longer. Yeah, it goes Clements, Greg, Roper, me, Jeff,
Dunham.
Sam.
Dunham's in there somewhere.
Yeah, Dunham is below Sam because I think he was only on for like 20-something episodes. Then you, then Scott Lowe.
There you go.
And that's the rundown.
Holy.
Did you say Jeff Haynes? Where's
And-
he?
Yeah, I said Jeff Haynes.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll be making my way.
And now,
there.
now Stephanie Lee has one.
One.
So you can start. And now, as you add more onto the
Well,
count,
we know Veronica Belmont has one as well.
Yes, that's true.
Who else? Yosep.
Oh, Shuhei
Yep.
Yoshida.
Shuhei Yoshida-san,
Friend of Podcast
has
Beyond.
one episode under his belt.
Probably the greatest episode of Podcast
Probably
Beyond.
one of the greatest episodes.
So I'm tied with some greats, apparently.
What's that?
Some
You
great
were-
guests.
Yeah,
Yes, you
were
are tied
absolutely
with the president of Worldwide Studios.
Yes.
For some reason, when you said that, I heard Tide as in the dishwasher or the laundry detergent with some grapes. So like I was imagining just a bunch of grapes floating around in Tide, and I thought
sounds
to
disgusting,
myself,
Ryan.
what in God's name is Stephanie talking about right now?
Tide always reminds me
But
of that.
Tide with grapes makes a lot more sense.
Tide reminds me of that. You guys ever see that Seinfeld DVD? I'm telling you for the last time after his last stand-up routine.
Nope.
When he says the Tide commercial, if there's blood on your shirts, you might have a bigger problem right now than laundry.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tide, when I moved out here, I bought a bottle of Tide laundry detergent.
Got it. Please tell me that you're not about to say you still have the same bottle.
I still have the same bottle.
You're not using enough.
It's
laundry
almost
detergent.
empty, but it was a pretty big bottle.
Jim, how long have you had that bottle?
So the laundry or the washer and dryer that I have in my place, you don't put a lot in. You put like a quarter cup in.
Okay.
So I basically
Right, so
use
it's
a whole
high-
cup
it's
for
a high
1 month.
efficiency
Yeah,
machine.
I don't know. I don't know how it works, but
That sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Because no matter what the machine tells me, I throw in laundry detergent with reckless abandon.
you don't want too many suds.
So you
There's
don't
just
wanna
suds coming
saturate
pouring out of it.
shit.
This
All right.
is a foam.
Can we just do the Roper report, please?
Yeah, let's do what once was, what is now, what
Forever will be.
for what forever will be. The Roper Report. It's time for some
Can we get a bark?
news.
No. Okay.
Info boy, Jim Reilly.
Jim Reilly, the info
You guys
boy.
eat my ass.
That was great. Good God. All right, we have 10 items on the list this week.
Do it, Colin.
Wait.
This Roper Report is brought to you by Colin Moriarty. Colin Moriarty's opinions do not necessarily reflect those of Fox Entertainment or its subsidiaries.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Number one, probably the biggest news, and the news I'm most excited about. PlayStation 3 will never get cross-game chat. Yes! So now we can stop talking about it.
Just proving why Xbox Live is a superior service.
Yeah, and then you pay for it. In a Eurogamer interview, friend of Podcast Beyond Shuhei Yoshida revealed that it's actually impossible to institute cross-game chat due to an issue with the PlayStation 3's RAM. The RAM is allocated in-game when the system is running, meaning that, according to Yoshida, quote, it's not possible to retrofit something like that. Now we can
I'm glad
stop
it took
talking
5 years
about
to come out and actually say that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they were probably trying, don't you think, Jim?
No. I think it just shows though that like they weren't thinking long term with their online service when they were building PS3.
I suppose not.
You
So-
mean to say that you're not interested in talking to Greg about platinums when you're playing Hannah Montana and he's playing Kung Fu Panda?
No, because he lives in my house, and I can just talk
Well,
to
I mean,
him.
in the past.
I guess that's not. It wouldn't be as helpful
okay,
now.
so everyone in the office still aims each other, even though like we could just walk a couple steps to each other's desks.
That's
so,
true. No,
Talking is
that's fair
There
point.
you
exhausting.
go.
That's a fair point.
I actually prefer talking over aim, but
Yeah.
talking
We
is
still
way
do it.
faster.
Yeah.
Well, you send me the random aims. That's
and then there's like complete silence for a couple
yes,
hours.
and then it's silence, and then it just continues with the aim.
PlayStation Vita though will have cross game chat.
Yeah, it will.
So,
To me, like, I think it's an irrelevant issue. I understand some people want it. I actually don't want to talk. The reason I like PlayStation Network so much is because no one talks to each other. So as long as that keeps
That's
up,
not a good thing, bro.
that's really good.
I just don't play
That's
games online.
Not a good thing.
No, I don't really either. But when I play, like, Resistance online, it's nice to not hear anyone talking.
Why? You want to coordinate with your team.
No, not really. Not
So you're one of
particularly.
those players. You're like a rogue player.
Yeah, I'm on there.
lone
I'm on
wolf.
there to play. You know, we're playing team
Yeah.
deathmatch. How much strategy could there possibly be in team deathmatch?
I don't know. Like you stay together and coordinate.
Nah,
It usually works.
This isn't a game of SOCOM.
Oh my god.
Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on.
Number two. This is exciting news.
Okay.
Twisted Metal has a new release date.
Woo.
After being delayed and pushed out of its original October time slot, Sony today announced that Twisted Metal will come on Valentine's Day, February 14th.
Yup.
So we won't know the results of my bet with Greg until March at least.
Yeah, the one you will lose. There's no word on European or Australian release dates as of yet, but they'll probably be around the same time.
Can you fill me in on this bet?
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about it, I think last episode, but basically, I say Gears of War 3. The first month's sales of Gears of War 3 will outsell the first month's sales of a bunch of Sony exclusive games that came out this
Combined.
year. Combined.
Which
Interesting.
I'm gonna be. All I'm saying is I'm gonna be having a great steak dinner.
Well, I don't know, man. That's a pretty bold bet because you have some games in there that are definitely going to sell.
Not as much as Gears of War 3.
Yeah, but I mean, none of them individually will sell as much as Gears, but
After
Uncharted combined with Resistance, combined with Twisted Metal,
That's-
combined with Infamous,
no.
combined with
Infamous and
Motorstorm,
Uncharted isn't
come
even
on,
a million
man.
What's
units.
the time frame for this? All
Just
of
the first month of those games.
Okay.
Twisted
Wait,
Metal
wait,
was supposed to be out this year, but it got pushed back to next
Hey,
year.
Colin.
Yeah,
Valentine's Day. It's kind of an interesting choice for a Twisted Metal game.
it is. It's ironic, I think, is what they
Is
would
that
call
what
that.
they were going for?
Probably, yes. Did you see the video on, or the I guess it was just an image maybe on PlayStation blog of
No.
David Jaffe with a heart around his face?
No, I did not. But that's amazing.
It was very nice.
All right.
So that's cool. That's the next. Well, that's the first big PS3 exclusive next year.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna probably be playing Skyrim, to be totally honest. So
Yes.
I'm probably playing Dark Souls October 4th. Get
All right.
in store shelves.
We have.
You'll probably have beaten it by like 30 or 30 times by then, huh?
Hopefully, we'll
Yeah.
see.
It's a fine. It's a fine game. I saw it at Gamescom.
Well,
behind
that's
closed
why
doors.
they pushed it back, because it was supposed to come out October 4th, I think, Twist Metal. And they're like, Dark Souls
Dark
coming
Souls.
out.
I think they pushed it back because
And
it
the
probably
darkness
was not
got
ready.
Yep.
So number
Well, that too.
number 3, the longest item, but I think an interesting item, and I'd love to have Info Boys input on this.
All right, here we go. I actually kind of like Info Boy.
Yeah,
to be
I'm kind
totally
of
honest.
feeling that
I'm
myself.
never coming back on the show.
Is Insomniac Games parting ways with the Resistance series following the release of Resistance
Yes.
3? Marcus Smith, the series creative director, hinted at such a possibility during an interview with Website Gaming Union. When asked if Resistance was the studio's, quote, flagship franchise, Smith told the interviewer that Insomniac has a history of creating a franchise and then moving on from it, like they did with Spyro. Quote, we've done Resistance 3 and we're really into it and proud of it, but we're not currently slated to do Resistance 4, Smith stated, continuing that he can definitely see another studio picking up the franchise.
We talked about this a couple podcasts ago, and that
why
makes total sense.
Why can't they just drop it? Why does there have to be a 4? Why can't it end with 3?
I don't know if this story will be finished by the end of 3.
Here's something for you. You'll never see Resistance on PlayStation consoles again.
You think so?
It's going to be a handheld series from here on out.
Didn't you make this bet about something else?
It was Mod Nation Racers.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty confident it's also going to happen to Little Big Planet as well.
I don't know
I don't
about
think we'll
that.
see another console.
Well,
I don't know
Little
about that.
Luckily, Little Big Planet Vita is gonna blow
Media
all our
Molecule's not
minds.
doing it anymore. What team is? Are they doing the Vita game?
No.
Okay, so there you go. But yeah, this is not surprising at all, because I think Insomniac wants to be a multi-platform developer going forward.
Yeah.
They can't make exclusives anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about Resistance, Stephanie? Do you care?
No, I mean the beta that just came out for 3 was like my first exposure to it, honestly.
No, that's a good first
Yeah.
exposure to it.
Yeah.
And I mean, unfortunately, the game doesn't sell that much.
That's not really true.
It doesn't sell 6+ million copies. It sells 1 or 2 million copies.
Yeah, but Resistance 2 in 2008, when no one really had PS3, sold 500,000 copies in its first week. So Resistance 3 is going to sell many more copies.
First
than
month sales, we can bet on this. First month sales.
We already bet on it, though. You already
First
bet on
month
the-
sales for Resistance 3
Okay.
in the US will be less than Infamous 2.
What?
No.
You think Infamous 2 in its first month is going to sell more than Resistance 3 in its first month?
Yep.
What do you want to bet?
Steak dinner.
Another
Steak dinner. How
dinner.
much does the steak dinner cost? Where
It's
do
like
we go?
$50 a steak. So
Depends on where you
it'd
go.
be like $100. We go to Morton's. That's where we always go.
Is there a Morton's near us?
It's in Union Square.
Oh, there is a Morton's.
It's where I went with Greg.
Infamous or Resistance selling more?
Did you love it? Did you love your steak dinner?
Nothing tastes better than a free steak.
You have to factor in the launch time too. Like Resistance 3 is coming out with a lot of other games.
Yeah.
I think personally, just
I'll-
Resistance
can we-
as a franchise is not.
Can we just bet like a burger dinner?
No, it's got to be
I don't
steak.
have any money. I don't really, I'm not
You sure you're not confident?
confident enough to.
So you're not. I mean,
All right, fine, whatever. Moving on.
No, I'm saying I don't think we'll see Resistance on a major console release again.
Okay.
It'll be strictly a handheld game.
I think you're wrong about Little Big Planet 2, though, or Little Big Planet. I'll tell you why, because that's the next object on the Roper Report.
Here we go.
Some interesting stats from Gamescom. Now, I saw Little Big Planet 2, the move pack behind closed doors, and they talked a lot about the statistics of the game, which I thought were interesting. Little Big Planet 2's growth is far outpacing that of the original game in terms of user-created levels that have been shared. In the time it took the original Little Big Planet community to create 1 million levels, the Little Big Planet 2 community created 1.7 million. So there's an upward trajectory
well,
on
I mean,
consoles
Little Big
with
Planet 2 sold more than Little Big Planet 1.
Yeah, so that, too, is an upward
I mean, that's not
trajectory.
surprising,
There'll
though.
definitely be another Little Big
I don't
Planet.
know. I think that's a franchise you can't keep re-releasing a game every 2 years with just newer content in it.
Yeah,
like
well,
at some point you guys say, okay, this is it. We'll just put out more and more DLC for it or whatever.
That's fair. And another one that's for the info boy here. Namco Bandai, and you know about this because I know you said it was the biggest news out of Gamescom, correct? Namco Bandai and From Software have revealed that Dark Souls will get no DLC.
I need. Now, how did they say it? Because you were there when they said it.
I did. I was there.
Did they say, we're not talking about it?
No.
now?
So they said basically.
I still find this hard to believe.
They said that we were behind closed doors. I was only with like a few people. They said in a previous, presentation, there was some confusion about their DLC
Right.
plans. And I don't remember verbatim what they said, but they said, because it was a while ago, but I wrote the story. They basically said, like, we have no DLC plans. Like, the game is 50 hours long, and there's no plans for DLC. So
I've been reading some comments in that story. There seems to be surprisingly like some sort of split. Like people are like, oh yeah, great. I don't want to pay. I want to just pay $60 and get the game. But there are some people like, oh, I wish they I like, if they would re-release or put out a big expansion to the game later down the line.
Right.
I don't know. I think DLC is dumb anyway.
I think it's a good plan. It first of all lets the team focus on patching the game if necessary, and then
it's gonna be solid.
And then they can move on to something else.
Demon's Souls is rock solid.
They guaranteed it will be at least 50 to 60 hours long, at least, which is a good length, and much more than that. And dude, I'm so excited about that game too. Just by watching it, I wasn't super into Demon's Souls, and this game obviously looks the same, but there's just there's an aura about that game that's really special.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Is it?
Comes out next month in Japan. Importing it.
It's not still exclusive though, right?
No, it's a 360
It's
game.
exclusive in Japan because no one buys Xbox in Japan.
Right.
But you don't want to buy the Xbox version anyway. You want to get the PS3 version.
Why is
that's,
that?
That's where the community's going. I think it was the lead platform.
Yeah, that's the native build for sure.
Yeah.
You want to get that one.
New Vegas fans, no one in this room except for me. Are you?
I'm waiting.
Nope, I didn't
I'm waiting
play
to play it
Vegas.
once they actually patch it.
Yeah, well, they've patched it a million times.
Well,
I
it's,
don't know
not,
what
it's
patch
still
you're
not
waiting
ready to
for.
go.
Do you still have to do the cowboy hat thing?
Oh, the cowboy hat glitch was the best, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was
an
really
amazing
great.
glitch.
That took me like an entire day to figure out what the hell was wrong. That was really fun. The fourth and final Fallout New Vegas DLC expansion now has a release date. Lonesome Road is coming to the PlayStation Network September 20th.
They took way too long to
and
get
will
that shit
cost
out.
$9.99. Yeah, we talked about
way
this.
too long.
Yeah.
You got 3 months max after the game comes out to put out DLC. That's almost a year.
Too long?
Too long. No one's gonna buy. Who's playing Fallout New Vegas right now?
That's a good
Who
point.
hasn't
getting
traded it
fired
in?
up. His arms are
There's.
flailing
I
around.
talked to some analysts. They actually have some real data. Like basically a month or 2 months after the game comes out, if the disc is out of your console, that's it. No one's gonna put it back in to buy DLC.
Yeah, the DLC schedule on Fallout 3 was so rigorous and timely because you had Operation Anchorage in January of 2009, and then the fifth one came out, which I guess was Mothership Zeta in April. So that was
This
those
is
time
way
releases.
too long.
Yeah, I
New
agree.
Vegas has only had like 2 so far, right? And
3. This will be the fourth one. I
Oh,
think
this is the fourth?
this is the last one.
Oh, okay.
Plus the game is it's not even working.
Yeah, it sucks because
I
I
don't
think
know.
I think the game is better than Fallout 3, but it
So
just
that's what I've
doesn't.
been hearing.
But it just doesn't run as well. Not that that's really saying much, but the game is still super compelling. Like I've been waiting for the DLC to come back out so I can play it in hardcore mode and get the plat.
Blah,
plat.
blah.
But I'm gonna wait until there's more patches for that. For that game.
Is that phone coming from here?
No.
Is someone calling
It's
us?
next door.
No.
I'm looking at the phone right here. It's not.
Stephanie, you're not a Fallout fan,
I played Fallout 3. I mean, it was a great game.
so
It's just-
what stopped you from playing New Vegas? It's the same thing.
Yeah, well, I just don't have the time to invest in it. Yeah, so I haven't gotten into any really like deep games lately.
You should play
Yeah.
Demon's Souls.
I did try that game.
I beat it 11 times.
Well, I heard. Yes, I've heard.
11.
From a
Really?
little bird.
11 times.
Yep.
So did you create a new character each time?
Well,
How does it work exactly?
so I got 2 platinums in the game so far,
Right.
and I include both the North American version and the Chinese version that I have.
Okay.
Combined total beaten 11 times.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
But so you didn't answer my question though.
What?
Do you have to create a new character?
Well, yeah. I
each
mean,
time?
I have to create a new character for every game.
Okay, there's no like you're not counting like some sort of new game plus option.
Well, the
or
game just
something
keeps
like that?
going.
Oh, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, technically, yeah, it's a new game plus, but
Oh, so you do start over then?
yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I actually told you when I started playing the game, and I haven't actually touched it since I told you. Just like a week ago, I created a priest character, and you said that was a big mistake.
Yeah, you want I think the Royal Guard, or
Well, I mean,
it doesn't really matter who you
yeah,
start with
all
because
the-
you can
all the
make it
characters-
whoever you want
right.
after that.
And like I think I told you like the most jarring thing to me was how slowly paced the game was. Like you had to match that kind of mentality.
Colin's falling asleep over
No,
here.
I'm not.
Yeah, you had to go at it really slowly. And
Yeah, you gotta pay. Yeah, you can't run through it.
Yeah.
You gotta learn the game. It's a great game.
So
Game
that
of the
kind of
year.
actually bored me.
No, well,
No, it didn't bore you. There's 4 more items. We'll just go through them real quick so
Okay.
we can end this.
Let's do it.
Drinkbox Studios, the guys that did Tales from Space About a Blob, which is a pretty cool game on PSN. They're doing a game called Mutant Blobs Attack, and it'll be exclusive to Vita, and that will be at PAX. So that's one of the rare few games that weren't at Gamescom. That will be at PAX, I believe. Telltale Games' long-awaited Jurassic Park game should be coming November 15th to PlayStation 3. Sonic CD, for some reason, is coming to PlayStation Network this winter. And Virtua Fighter...
wait, no, okay, yeah, right now. That's gonna be at PAX too.
And Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown is coming to PSN later this summer. I don't, again, know why. And
well,
that is
hold
it
on
for
a
the
second.
report.
There are some Virtua Fighter fans out there.
Oh, that game seems real antiquated compared to a lot of fighting games.
There's some people. Our old editor-in-chief Hillary Goldstein believes Virtua Fighter is one of the most complex and innovative fighters of all time.
Tell me more.
That's all I really had, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's innovative. It's definitely very difficult.
Maybe innovative is the wrong word, but I mean he did believe that it was like the most technical, complex
Yeah,
fighter.
it had the highest barrier to entry.
That doesn't necessarily make a game good.
I think Mortal Kombat 2 is the best fighting game ever made.
Oh my
So that's all I'm gonna say.
Actually, I should say Third Strike does. Street Fighter 3, Third Strike.
Is the best
No, it has the highest barrier to entry.
for the Street Fighter series.
For beginners wanting to get into it, it's once.
Oh, I would say Marvel
Yeah.
vs. Capcom has all those games beat. Personally. But again...
Colin, you might have to keep going. I'm gonna have to get a drink of water.
Oh, you're going to get a water?
Gonna go get some water.
Jesus.
All right.
sick.
So we'll quickly get out of the way the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors. Thank you. Now you can go. Oh, thanks. Oh, I'll do PSN list too. Okay. So the only game that came out this week is Deus Ex. Anyone excited about this?
Ooh.
Anyone excited about this game?
Well,
I'm about
Stephanie.
to play it.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been hearing nothing but good things about this game. People
Same
are
here.
people are saying it's game of the year. I don't know.
We gave it a 9.0.
I played a little bit of Deus Ex, and that was a great game.
I played about an
PC.
hour of
Back in
it
2000, I think.
of a preview event 8 months ago. It was okay. The original Deus Ex is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited to just get into this. It's a pretty long game. It's pretty like 40 to 50 hours, which is a lot.
That's great.
Pretty long game.
I like long games.
So yeah, I want to play that game.
This new Deus Ex seems like a game that is for people who are really well versed in that kind of RPG video game logic. So for people who want to like go one route and then change their mind later, it's not really possible, like feasible for them to do
Well,
that.
I
And I
think
like that. I actually really like that about games.
I think Arthur played it for his review. He played it very stealthily and didn't kill anybody but Casey. Played it guns blazing.
Yeah.
And you can get. It's not like you have to play it one way. You can basically play however you want, and
Yeah,
you
but
still
I mean,
feel
like
like a
once
badass.
you devote those points or whatever into
Well, right.
developing those skills,
Yeah.
you can't actually like funnel them in somewhere else and
Yeah.
have conflicting skills.
But I'm pretty excited to play it.
I've only played
Colin?
it for a couple hours. Now, my major complaint, I have not spent nearly enough time with it to have a critical opinion on it. But I will say the control scheme's a little whack in the game. And the fact that you can't change the controls.
Yeah,
to
I
make
was
it
actually
feel
having a
more-
conversation about this.
It's
not
bad.
the fact that we
Bad.
have games today where you can't map buttons wherever you want is just insane.
Yeah,
insane.
I agree. The game feels clunky to me. Honestly, it feels kind of like Fall of Man in a way because you're clicking to aim. It feels really antiquated. First of all, clicking to aim is antiquated. It doesn't feel
Yeah,
right.
it
You're
should be
supposed to
L1.
use L1 to
Yep.
aim and R1 to shoot. That's the way it's supposed to be. R3 to crouch, L3 to run. Like those, square to reload and X to jump or try, like whatever it is. It's like those are the control fundamentals. The fact that you can't change it.
Control fundamentals for first-person shooters, though.
Yeah, but this game is a first-person game that can be played like a first-person shooter, so it should be played like that. I mean, it's like I appreciate that they have this control scheme they want you to use and be stealthy and crouch and all those things, but you should be able to change it. And when I found out you couldn't change it, I was like, that really really tempered my excitement.
I always feel like that whenever I put in a Metal Gear game and then circle is back, I think, or no, circle is forward.
What do you mean in menus?
Yeah.
In Japan,
Yeah.
typically X was back and circle
Yeah.
was accepted.
I think it's like that for Final Fantasy as well.
Yeah.
And that always.
And they switched that here
Yeah, that
for
always gets
some
me.
whatever reason.
So yeah, Deus Ex is all that's come out this week. Nothing for PS2, nothing for PSP. Do you want to do Zombie Blognac since you're back, Clements?
Sure. Keep talking.
I have nothing to say.
My apologies to the Beyond community. I have, as Colin can tell you, on our ride in this morning, my throat took a turn for the worst.
This is a strange time.
Yes.
For a
Yes.
lot of
It
people
was
to get
that kind
sick.
of ride. So yeah, I'm feeling fine, but man, a little bit of a tickle here, got a little cough.
A little
action
tickle
going
in the
on.
throat,
Little tickle in the
as it
throat.
were.
Did you gargle your salt water like you
I
usually
did.
do?
I did.
Drink that water, bro.
Delicious. All right, did we go through any of these?
Nope.
Okay. Downloadable games this week: Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition.
We
Look at
reviewed
that.
that. What do we give it? Anyone know?
I think a 9.
Yes, a really high
Yeah.
score.
We also have Hamilton's Great Adventure,
Yeah, that's being reviewed right now.
Comics Zone.
Old Genesis game.
It's okay.
Let's see, what do we have demos? There is a demo for Street Fighter, as well as anything else. Oh, there's a body count demo. There we go. I'm a little worried about that game, by the way. I'll be reviewing that. Look for that next week.
Do we have it yet?
Yeah.
I sniffed the manual yesterday.
Naturally.
How did it go?
It was okay. It wasn't
How's
color.
that manual
It
sniff?
wasn't color.
I'm looking for other interesting things. I'm not really seeing anything.
Parasite Eve 2 came out for PS1 Classics, which is
Ooh,
pretty
did
cool.
it? I'm
Oh,
looking.
that's cool.
I'm looking for that. I don't see it
But
anywhere.
nothing else really interesting. No interesting discounts. No interesting freebies for
Ah, there it
PlayStation
is,
Plus.
yes. Well, let's look at the minis.
Let's.
Still putting those out, huh?
Yep.
Oh yeah, we still
The
got 'em.
Rubensteins are just cranking them out.
We have Fighting Fantasy Talisman of Death
Mm-hmm.
for $4.99.
Oh, that's a good price. That's a
And-
great price for a mini.
Also, sequel to one of the greatest selling minis of all time, we have Hysteria Project 2 for $2.49. I have no idea how the first one sold, if there was a first one. I'm just making shit up. And there's a PSP theme 3D Circus. There you go. So if you guys
Good
want
update.
that,
Good update
there
this
it
week.
is. There it is. That's your.
I wonder how
PlayStation
that
Network
Hamilton
update.
game is, though. I want to know more about that Hamilton
Yeah.
game.
Is it Alexander
It
Hamilton?
looks pretty good.
That's Alexander Hamilton, yes. And he gets shot by Aaron Burr. So
You remember the commercial, like, I don't know, 15 years ago, where
The
it's
peanut butter?
The peanut butter. No, that was a cookie one.
It was a milk commercial,
Yeah.
but he had peanut butter in his mouth, and he was trying to look for the milk, and he was like, "Hold on, God, get some milk."
I thought, it was,
The milk is all out. And he's
I thought he
"Oh."
was eating cookies, and then like he had
Maybe. I
milk.
could have sworn it was peanut butter. And there was also the one where the dude actually just straight up died. Did you see that? That's the one where he like is in heaven and he's like, "Oh man, this is amazing!" And he's eating all these cookies. Like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
bro, I'm so." And
there's
he
no
opens
milk
up
in
the
the fridge.
and there's no milk.
Yeah.
And he's like, and it's like, "God, milk!
I
You're in
have-
fucking hell."
I forgot those commercials.
Yeah, I
That's
miss
good
those
stuff.
commercials.
Yeah,
That's
there
when you know
they are.
advertising works, when you remember the ad.
Yeah,
15
years later. So before we go into reader mail, do we want to do Toe this week?
Sure. I mean, do we? What do we want to talk about?
This
I mean,
is
we-
all so
we could-
foreign.
We
let's
could-
let's work it into reader mail because
Yeah.
I want to get this out of the way real quick.
No problem. Let's do it.
Am I allowed? Is it time?
This is Colin's time.
By the way,
Is he a transformer?
Yeah, apparently. I don't know what that was.
what Colin's about to say is completely insane.
Is it?
It's completely insane.
All right, you ready? Okay, so my PSN friends list is full, and it's been full for a long time. And I realize that I don't know a lot of the people on my list. Like these, people that just add me, and I'm not really keeping up with a lot of the people. Some of the people I've known for a long time. Anyway, I want it to be more equitable for our listeners of Podcast Beyond and IGN readers exclusively because I care about you guys, and I feel like when I post on Twitter that I have open spots on PSN, it's not really fair. Because not everyone follows me on Twitter. Obviously, it's like a fraction of our listeners, and
Right.
so what I wanted to do was, so I was off on Monday. I just got back from Germany, and I was talking to Greg online, and I was like, I'm going to write this blog post about the new rules. And we've been talking about this for a long time. We've been getting a lot of emails about them, about when I'm going to announce the new rules, and I kind of been teasing it for a while, and I just hadn't done it. So the new rules are as follows, Jim. Mm-hmm. You have to be level 12 to be on my PSN friends list. Now, obviously, people are going to have, people I know in person, like my cousin who plays just Black Ops and Madden is not going to be removed from my list. Stephanie's not going to be removed from my list.
Yay.
Clements is not going to be removed from my list, etc. and so on. Obviously, Shuhei Yoshida is not going to be removed from my list. But I want people the reason for that is I want people that are really into the PlayStation experience, people that I can count on to be there if I need to play a game, if I want to play Resistance or something like that. People that, we play Twisted Metal, things of this nature, people that use it a lot. And then the other thing is I want people to be active on my IGN, or at least have an IGN account and a PSN account. So I posted on the blog and I said, I will announce code words in this podcast that you will then go on a blog that will be linked in the Podcast Beyond 203 article. And all you have to do is post in the blog with the corresponding code words, your PSN name, and that's it. And then the first 50 or so people that post, I add to PlayStation Network. Now, what's your problem with
just
that?
to be your friend on PlayStation Network.
Well, I want it to be most equitable because I feel like it's lame if I'm just like I have 50 spots open and then whoever adds me.
I think it makes sense.
I think it makes sense too.
It makes more sense now that you described it like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because I can just say like, oh, I have 50 spots open on Twitter, and then whoever adds me, and that's cool. But I want it to be people that listen to Podcast Beyond, and I want it to be people that are active on IGN, and I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair. What's your problem with that?
I don't have a problem with it. It's insane. That's it.
Why is it insane though?
It's
Obviously,
it's
if it's insane, you have a problem with it.
It's the opposite of insane. It's totally logical. Maybe it's too logical. Is that what you want?
What now? You have I see a list of like character names or something. What is
Yes.
that?
So here's how it's going to work.
Wow.
Pay attention carefully, Jim. The blog post will be linked in Podcast Beyond 203.
All right.
You click on it.
Yeah.
You scroll down and put the following information into the article.
Yes, into your comment.
Yes.
Yes.
You say beyond with an exclamation point.
Right.
That's how you start it.
Does it have to be uppercase beyond or
No,
lowercase?
it doesn't matter.
Okay,
However
doesn't-
you want it. As
Case-
long as
it's not case sensitive.
No, not case sensitive.
Beyond.
Beyond with an exclamation point.
Right.
Then I want your PSN name underneath that.
Your PSN name.
Then this is where the code words come in. And the design of the code words was to be, see, I had this idea of just having one code word, but then I realized the first person that listens and posts, and everyone will just copy that code word. So I have 26 code words, Jim.
Yep.
And it's
love this.
it's depending on the first letter of your PSN name.
Yeah.
So if it starts with an A, you'll have a word, and if it starts with a B, you'll have a word, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
That way it's a little harder to cheat.
Total sense.
Tell me, Colin, how many nights have you stayed up thinking about this?
Not very long. It didn't really take that long to come up with this plan.
Okay.
It's not as complicated as it
It
seems.
is very
code
elaborate. I'm
words-
very impressed,
The
actually.
code words are amazing.
Okay, so the code words are dedicated to Ryan Clements.
This is in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the letters are in alphabetical order.
Right.
Now, do
obviously.
you want to read the code word? I think you want to read the code words on air, right?
I'm gonna read them on air.
I thought you were posting them in a blog
No,
post. Oh,
Because
see.
then I don't know if they listen to Podcast Beyond.
Yep.
You're making this much more some people are making this much more complicated than it
Yeah,
really
this
is. I
is-
got to be totally honest with you. It's really not that complex.
No, it's not. It's not bad.
So if you're level 12, post on the blog Beyond exclamation point
Your
PSN
PSN
name,
ID.
then the code word that corresponds
With your name.
with the PSN name.
Yes.
First letter. And these are the code words dedicated to Ryan Clements.
Here we go.
A is Edge. B is Cecil. C is Rydia. D is Rosa. E is Sid. F is Locke. G is Edgar. H is Sabin. I is Kefka. J is Cyan. K is Gogo. L is Yamaro. M is Setzer. N is Shadow. O is Interceptor. P is Yang. Q is Kane. R is Palom. S is Porum. T is Tella. U is Golbez. V is Celis. W is Gao. X is Mog. Y is Strago. Z is Terra. That's it. Rules are done.
I always thought it was pronounced Sabin.
I always said Sabin. Actually,
calling him Sabin.
with Gao too, Jeremy Dunham, Podcast Beyond alumnus, said that it's not pronounced that way either. But
How do you
How does he
spell
say
it?
it?
I don't know. I don't remember. It's like
Gao?
Is it go?
something like that. Yeah, like it's very, I think, Japanese. But these come from the era when we had no idea what the hell any of these names were. Because like I told you, I say Chocobo, which is like definitely not the way it is.
Definitely not.
I say Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Mario.
Also not. Itagaki doesn't even like when people say Ninja Gaiden.
Too bad.
I call it
commented
Ninja
on it.
Gaiden, but I think Edgar is the coolest person on that list.
The coolest person on this list.
It's Kafka.
Yeah, Kefka's pretty cool.
What?
I love Kefka's definitely the best villain in the series, I would say.
I thought Edgar he had like a crossbow in the game, didn't he?
Yeah, he
had
used
some-
tools.
Yeah,
like different
tools.
tools.
Yeah,
Who's your
He
He had
favorite
like the
Clements?
drill and stuff like that.
That shit was badass.
And I think Porum and Palom are probably my favorite.
In terms of heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. I don't think that's too complicated. I think some people didn't like the rules. I had hundreds of comments. Some people liked them, some people didn't. But you have to understand, this was, I thought, the way that would be most fair to rope in IGN readers and Podcast Beyond
Hey,
listeners.
if you want to be my friend on PSN, just add me on your friends list.
Okay.
That's all you gotta do.
What's your name?
It's just Jim. It's Jim_Reilly.
Jim_Reilly.
They don't allow spaces.
Do you accept friends on your
I do.
PSN list? What's your name?
It's Rarsor.
Ugh, you picked the worst PSN name.
What are you talking about?
Should just pick S. Lee or something.
It's RAAWRSAUR.
It is a little hard to say, you have to admit.
Yes.
But I
If
like
you have
it.
problems saying your PSN name, then you picked the wrong PSN name.
I said it, didn't I?
The funny
kinda
thing is
said
that
it.
I always read it differently.
What'd you say?
Like whenever I read it, when you write it out, I always read it as Rorosaur. Like
That
I'm
could
putting
work.
in an
That
extra.
could work too.
You can
actually.
delete it though and get a new name. You have no trophies, so it's not like you are going to miss
It's
them.
true.
Well, I'm level 9.
God,
like
just
9 point.
flooding me.
I'm
No.
like 9
care,
and like
though.
10%.
I like
So I was
the
catching up
name's
to the
fine.
10.
It's a little hard to spell.
You're level 10.
Right.
But
But then I push it up.
push it to 12. So gonna have to get more platinums and demon souls,
Get
I
those
guess.
plats.
Dedicated
Plat.
dedicated PSN
Get the
users.
bling bling.
Dedicated Podcast Beyond listeners, dedicated IGN users. That's the trifecta that the new list is going to be made of.
Okay.
People we know and love.
Gotta get that bling bling, son.
That's it. Should we do reader mail?
Yeah, sure.
Maelstrom.
As long as I have my water here.
You do. Do you want to read?
Sure.
Let me read one.
Oh, Jim,
right.
Jim wants to read one.
Jim's got it.
Actually, I'll just read them all.
Okay.
All right.
Where we start here?
Wherever
How
you
does this
want.
work?
Probably at the top.
Mini review.
Oh, it's a mini review. This is
I must
Colin,
run.
this
I
was
must
trouble.
run. I must run by Brian Lyon,
I must run. Yeah, that just came out. Okay.
and that's about it. ... Thank you.
Well done. Very good. Send more mini reviews to beyond@ign.com.
There you go. Be
This,
part of
this
the
is from
conversation.
Josh. This next letter is from Josh.
We're ready.
He has two questions. One, how is Mouse Miller / Moriarty / Mitchell going?
House Miller. Did he say Mouse?
I thought you said Mouse Miller, and I
House
was like,
Miller,
oh, that's an
Moriarty,
interesting
Mitchell.
new nickname.
It's going well. It's really nice.
How awesome is it in that house?
It's pretty awesome. There's a lot of PlayStation 3s in it.
I visited there when Colin was in Germany. We had a blast. We watched Troll 2.
Yeah, buddy.
This is the same apartment that you were with Bromley, right?
That's correct.
Okay, I like that pad.
I like that
It's a
apartment.
good, it's a good pad.
That sounds like a lively group of people.
Oh,
It's got
great
it's got a
group.
big kitchen.
Great group.
Big
Yeah.
kitchen.
Lots of beer was consumed that night.
Yeah, we do have a lot of
So,
beer.
question number 2: how different do you think the house would be if Clements was your roommate and not Mike Mitchell?
I sense it would be much like Podcast Beyond. Very special.
There'd be more Final Fantasy stuff probably, right?
Yeah, we
Maybe
would have
even
some. Yeah.
maybe even cleaner. Though I actually haven't seen your guys' place. I've seen Clements' place. It's like freaking spot clean.
Yeah, I like Clements' place too.
My apartment's clean. My apartment's pretty
Yeah.
clean.
Oh,
yeah, no,
not
you're-
quite as meticulous as Clements, but
Yeah.
clean. I clean it every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't clean mine every weekend. This next one is from Doug.
Okay.
This, hey there, guys. Congrats on episode 200. I
Thank
was
you.
just wondering about the top 25 PSP games.
Yeah.
I seem to recall you were soliciting suggestions to use in the updated list a month or two ago. Blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen a new top 25 posted for PSP yet, given the system is in its final twilight. Maybe you're waiting for the Vita launch. I don't know, but I was just curious.
That wasn't a very enthusiastic read of that,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
message.
dude, I don't know.
He has some skipping. Hey, I'm skipping ahead here.
Okay.
All right. I want you to bring your energy up a little bit, though. You're not
I'm
bringing
not reading
Can
the
I say-
whole letter.
Let me see it. The answer to that, we don't know the specific dates yet, but we did. Greg and I already sorted the top PS3 lists, so I know what they are, and I'm not going to tell you.
Are there actually 25 PSP games that are must play?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
are.
Okay.
But that list will probably go up after the PS3 list, but I'm not entirely positive. I'll have to check with Greg. And no, we're not waiting for the Vita launch. The PSP list will be up long before Vita comes out.
Taking my reader mail away from me.
I am, because that wasn't a very enthusiastic read.
It's about top 25 PSP games.
What, you don't get excited. Well,
Nah,
without
I
Greg
don't-
here, we don't really have a super PSP advocate. Although Clements likes
You
his
can,
PSP.
yeah, and you can make even the most boring question sound.
Let me try one more time.
Okay, read the next one.
Was the next one good? Is it?
It shouldn't matter. You can. Still
Okay, this is a question
you
for
can
Ryan.
Bring your energy.
Question for Ryan.
Here we go.
Will the release date for Last Guardian be announced at TGS?
Colin is.
The answer
nodding
is
his
no.
head.
The answer is no.
Absolutely, it will be.
Colin, what is the most cherished platinum that you have?
Fallout 3.
Jim, this is a question for me. 3 quick tips for someone starting Demon Souls. Read the Demon Souls wiki. That's it. Greg is not
Only
here.
One, Jim.
Greg is not here.
What was his
Ask Stephanie
question?
Greg's question.
Greg's question is most wings eaten in a sitting.
Stephanie, what's the most wings you've ever eaten in the city?
Actually, probably only 7. I'm not a big wings
Wow.
person.
No, that's not. I don't think. I
Yeah.
don't think Greg would be very happy with
That's a
that.
poor
number.
showing.
Well, I guess this is for anyone else. It says first day at IGN. I don't know what that means. So I guess when did you start, or
Oh.
I don't know.
I just said earlier I started like 6 months ago.
So there you go.
Colin and I started July 16th, 2007.
Yep.
There you go.
I started a week before E3.
In 2008.
That was great.
Dude, I remember helping you log into the E3 computers.
Oh, it was
and you're
terrible.
like-
That's not
you're
E3 is not a good
you're
like
"What's
first
this?
week.
What is all this? And I was like, dude, this is gonna be really hard. Sorry, bro.
He ends the email saying Beyond.
Beyond.
Tony says, are any of you excited for the new PlayStation Home?
No.
Greg, now you didn't put this in the Roper report or anything, right?
No, yeah, because no one really cares
Okay.
about PlayStation Home.
Do you,
Oh, that's
can
not
anyone
true.
recall what it was about? I didn't even read it. So
Yeah,
I read it. It was I proofed that article. So I think the major gist of it is that they're like Home is going to be redesigned to kind of funnel you into more games and stuff like that. So like you'll immediately be able to play games with people that have like-minded interests or whatever. So if you want to set like a certain game space that you like adventure games, then you'll go right into the adventure game area and be able to play with like-minded people. If you like action games, you'll be funneled into the action area of Home.
So is it like sort of like a social discovery engine kind of thing?
Yeah, I kind of think it's they're trying to do what it was always meant to be.
Right.
But I think it's kind of too little too late for Home, to be honest.
here's a prediction: PlayStation 4 or whatever they call it will not have Home.
That's a pretty safe bet.
Jim, can I read some of the questions?
Yeah, I'm done reading. I'm tired now.
You're done? Are you tired? You're exhausted?
I'm exhausted.
You got all tuckered out, buddy?
Yep. Out of breath.
Please rest.
All right, let's move on to a question from Matt, who writes, is Deus Ex good for trophies/achievements?
No, definitely not.
However, I would say that I did get a few of them during my first few hours. And also, because I am completely in love with that game, I say play it anyway, and you'll just end up getting the trophies.
You know what's a game that's not good for platinums is the Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
Yeah, that game
doesn't give you trophies at all.
No, that game was tough because you have to beat all of the stages on very hard, and then you have to get all the trials for every stage.
Yeah.
So that I got maybe 50% of the trophies.
That's pretty good.
But still a really fantastic game though.
I don't know. I think it's pretty boring actually.
Can we talk about this real
Yeah.
quick?
Why do you like it so much? Because I think to me it's repetitive and boring. But
I think a lot of games are repetitive. I think.
This game does not innovate at all. It steals everything from everything else.
I think, first of all, it plays like God of War, but it's more interesting than God of War. So that immediately intrigued me because I'm famously not a God of War fan. I think Kratos is probably the worst character ever.
Yeah, agreed.
And
Wait, hold on. Why do you think Kratos is the worst character of all time?
because there's no personality unless personality is just yelling the same stupid
But
shit
that-
over and over
game,
again
yeah.
for 3 games in a row, then
that goes
With
along,
two spin-offs.
That goes along with the unidimensional Greek mythology. Like all the characters in Greek mythology or gods in Greek mythology were like pretty
they just screamed at each other.
Hey, God of War 3, best
We're
looking
just-
game this generation.
one-dimensional. Is all I'm saying. So it kind of fits in with that whole.
I suppose, but this isn't even real Greek mythology, so they could have
Right.
done something a little more with it.
Castlevania just stole everything
and-
that was good.
And he's angry for a reason, to be honest.
Yeah,
Let's be fair.
that's
He's angry
that's
for a
fine,
reason.
but Kratos is a terrible character.
Yeah.
and
I'm not saying
we'll
he's
just-
a good character.
we'll just
not
leave
the
it at that.
worst
Castlevania's a pretty
character of all
terrible
time.
game, though.
To be totally honest, I'm upset about Kratos' character for those reasons. I also just think he looks dumb.
Yeah,
I just don't think his design is very good. He doesn't have
Isn't
spiky
he-
hair. He doesn't have a big sword.
Yeah.
With
Right.
way too
He-
much hair product.
He doesn't have enough product. He doesn't have his midriff showing. He
Yeah.
has his whole upper body showing.
That's too much.
Too much. You need to limit it to that little slit.
I thought Kratos was actually modeled after a real life person. So you're saying that person's not appealing at all?
No, I'm sure they're beautiful in real life, but they don't make for an interesting character.
Yeah, painted in like
Painted
white
in
and
white
red.
with red stripes.
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
Fucking Greek zebra over here.
It's pretty lame.
Forget about it.
But I like Castlevania because, first of all, the whole thing about Castlevania is everyone was like, "There's no connection to real Castlevania and this and stuff." Like
That
just
is true.
actually no, it's really not actually because there's a lot of like really obscure references in the game if you're really into Castlevania, and a lot of references to Castlevania 2, which is my favorite Castlevania game. So there are references, and I'm not saying like overt references, but there are references to map names are named after places in Simon's Quest and stuff like that. Like I think that's cool, like really mild things. And obviously you're playing as a Belmont, but also I think that the game captures ambience. Like it's really strong in that game. I think that like when you get past the first few stages and you're starting to like get towards like when you're getting towards like structures and castles and you're in that like abandoned town and stuff like that. Like I think the game's like really powerful in that sense. And I really like the length of the game too because I think
Too long, way too long.
The gameplay is like really solid, I think, and I thought the game was really fun, and I like the backtracking element of it. But the fact that the game lasts like 15 or 20 hours is pretty cool too.
There wasn't one level in that game that I was like, I'm having a good time. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a struggle to finish.
Like I'm quite fond of that game, and that's pretty well documented. And I understand why people wouldn't be, but I think that the game is more Castlevania than some people give it credit for.
I still gotta check it out.
Yeah,
I think the
at some
2D Castlevania games are superior.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I think that the Metroidvania games are awesome. Like we talked about, I would play one of those games every year, forever. I love those games, and I want Simon's Quest to be remade, so we'll hold on for that one as well.
Hey, Colin.
Yes.
I have something from our old friend Enzo De Gregorio.
Oh, Enzo, what's up, man?
Enzo writes, as you speculated in your recent article, which I really enjoyed, by the way, Insomniac may bequeath the Resistance series to another developer. My question to you is, which developer would you like to see take on this series? Sony Bend? Nihilistic? How about the developer of Singularity? Resistance 4, now with time puzzles.
Yes. Well, as you guys know, Nihilistic already did are doing a Resistance game. They're doing Burning Skies. And Ben did Resistance Retribution. So those would make sense. And if what Jim is saying is true and those games are going to be handheld only going forward, which
Nihilistic is going to be...
yeah, I mean, Ben did a really nice job. I mean...
Ben's working on Uncharted Golden Abyss.
Yes.
Okay.
And Nihilistic's working on Burning Skies. And I just want to say real quick that I played Burning Skies and I was totally blown away by it. Not because it's a Resistance game, but it's a proper first-person shooter on a fucking portable handheld. And it felt awesome. And I've never played anything like it. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, Raven doing the game would be awesome, but obviously that's
Raven,
not going to happen.
no.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
Activision owns them, first of all.
Yeah,
so
no, I know.
That's
So
never going to happen.
But he was saying the Singularity developer, and that's Raven. So I don't know. I would prefer Insomniac to keep making the console games, but I understand if they don't
Not
want to.
gonna happen.
I mean, I think Overstrike is the new direction, but they haven't relinquished Ratchet and Clank, and they've done plenty of Ratchet and Clank games.
I think Ratchet is also, they're done with that.
I'll see what's going on. I think I do think I wrote the piece about Sony first parties and then the piece about third parties that Sony should buy. And Insomniac was definitely one of them, but I think they missed the boat on that because, like you said, I think they do want to be.
I think they want to make Killzone their premier first-person shooter like Microsoft has with Halo. You can't have separate shooters in your first-party lineup. And
why not? I mean,
what is Stephanie doing?
She's doing like a butterfly bird thing.
They have Gears and Halo though. I mean, are you saying like not two first-person shooters, third person and a?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a huge difference there.
So like Uncharted and Killzone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Killzone obviously is in the class of Halo, but I think they need to pick one and go with it. But
yeah, I think you might be right, but I think
I'm usually right.
But I think that the fact that Burning Skies is going to be on Vita, I think shows that series has a future somewhere.
We'll see. It's not on consoles though.
Enzo also has a question for me. Enzo writes, what feature of the Vita are you looking forward to playing around with the most? That's a good question because everything about that device makes me salivate.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I will say, honestly, it's not so much the features as I'm looking forward to having that much power in in a handheld, which I do not have access to right now. I don't even have an iPhone 4. So yeah, it's the power of the games. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, the software certainly looks a lot better than the 3DS software.
The software is pretty awesome, actually. At first glance,
great for especially for a launch like this early, and the software already looks and has that much diversity to it. Forget about it. Let's just fucking end the podcast now. This is going to be the greatest device of all time. You know what? Fuck it. IGN is calling it right now. The Vita is going to blow minds and break hearts, okay? It's going to be amazing.
Break hearts in that it's not going to be good?
No, in that it's going to be so good that you cry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see what I did there?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Dude, there's so many. I mean, I've just seen and played so many games that I'm so compelled by. Sound Shapes is really cool. Escape Plan's really cool. That Resistance game's really cool. Uncharted's really cool. Mod Nation and LBP look really cool. That game Ruin, I'm super excited about that game.
A little old school dungeon crawling.
That you can transfer between your PS3 and your Vita.
Why don't we throw in Gravity Days? We're messing around with fucking Gravity or flying around a world map. There's some Japanese shit in there.
Oh,
yes.
So last night, Atlas Japan posted a teaser website.
Oh my God, Persona 5 might be
No.
coming.
There's no actual information on what it is, but it's stylized in the same form as Persona 4. So thinking it could be a Persona 4 Vita release.
But we already knew that was coming to Vita, right? Or Persona 3 was it? Isn't one of those?
Persona
games?
3 is on PSP.
Yeah.
And that's coming to Vita, I think, right?
I'm not sure. I didn't know there was a Persona on Vita.
Maybe I'm getting something confused. I just wrote a story about it.
I would love a Persona 5, though. After playing Catherine, I am ready. I'm ready for them to rock the PlayStation 3 version.
Do you think it's going to come out on Vita, not the PS4?
Wait, Persona 5?
Yeah.
No,
It's not
Persona
going to be.
5 will be a PS3 game.
It'll be a multi-platform release on 360, PS3.
Yeah. All right, guys. We have something from Beardicus, who writes, anybody else excited for Hot Shots on the Vita? Boy, howdy, I sure am.
I think the game actually looks pretty cool.
With love and bountiful beyond.
That's a golfing game, right?
Yeah. That's cool. I like the Hot Shots games.
Yeah, I think I saw Everybody Golf, as it was in Europe.
Everybody clap your hands.
Okay.
No, we can't do that.
This podcast is over.
Is it? You're never coming
Thanks
on
for
again.
Thanks for listening.
The game actually looks really cool. Looks really clean. When I went to play it, though, they told me that it's the same thing we saw at E3, so I just moved on to another game.
I've got the Vita shakes now, Colin. Dear Lord,
dude,
I'm getting pumped.
I'm pumped too. Every time I have my hands on a Vita, I'm like, I cannot wait. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And the software is just it's there. So the only game I played that's questionable, and then I wrote about it, is that game Frobisher Says, which is a WarioWare ripoff, basically.
Sounds great. Let's move on.
Okay.
All right, we'll do one from Ross. Ross writes, I recently came to the realization that whenever I play a single-player campaign mode, I choose easy or casual as the difficulty. Now, I'm not a novice to video games, as I've been playing since the Atari 2600. I do this primarily as a way just to enjoy the game and finish it to completion in as little time as possible, since, as you know, the too many games, too little time problem is all too prevalent. The question is, am I wussing out by doing this? What is your preference?
I go with normal all the time.
I go with
Yeah.
hard actually a lot.
Because Colin's a masochist.
Well, I like trophies too. Playing casual to me is a little strange just because that's not necessarily the way the game was meant to be played.
I always just choose normal.
Yeah, I like hard just for the trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I start on normal because I like a little bit of a challenge, but casual's too easy.
Yeah,
easy
But you know what? I'm gonna say, Ross, you're not wussing out. You can play whatever the hell you want.
Yeah,
I mean,
Ross can do what he wants, but I have this question for Ross.
I'm ready.
How does he know his gaming skill is up to par if he's always setting things to casual?
Maybe you should crank that shit up and see how it goes.
Just
Ross,
think about it, in
we
the
have
words
an
of Fred
official
Durst.
Beyond challenge for you. You can email us back, send it to beyond@ign.com with updates. Your official Beyond challenge. The next game you play, you are tasked with playing it on normal in the name of Beyond and completing it on normal. If you do, and if you can do it, email us and we'll, I don't know, maybe I'll send you something.
Great thing about Demon Souls, there is no difficulty to pick from the start.
It's just hard.
Yep.
It just adapts.
And then once
to
you beat
your-
it, it gets harder.
It adapts to your gaming
it only
style,
keeps- No, I mean,
it adapts to the number of deaths you have, so it starts shifting
well, yeah, the more
towards
you die, the
darkness.
harder it gets.
Right.
So,
Which
Doesn't make any sense. I love it.
ridiculous.
and when you beat the game, it gets harder. Anyway, next question.
Guys, we have a more somber note now.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Who died?
Dear Beyond, it is a sad day in the Ratliff household. My backwards compatible 80 gig PS3 of 3 years has died and taken my Call of Duty Black Ops disc with her. I ask for prayers as I am going through these hard times. I believe the Black Ops disc can be surgically removed from the barren PS3, so please pray that the gods keep these hands steady. Thank you. Never forget August 23rd, 2011. From Tommy Ratliff. Sorry,
You know,
Tommy.
I don't know if
That's
this is
terrible.
true or not, but if you have a backwards compatible PS3 and you get it repaired by Sony, they won't actually repair it so the backwards compatible works again.
They'll just send you a new unit.
They'll just send you a refurbished, newer unit. So if
That
you have a
make-
backwards compatible unit, don't have a break.
Yeah, see if you can fix it yourself.
All right, well, we got the somber stuff
Okay.
done. Our thoughts to Tommy and his PS3 and Call of Duty Black Ops disc. Anyway, Jacob writes to us with a very interesting username because Jacob starts his message with Beyond, People You Suck here. His name is People You Suck,
Yep.
I guess.
I've seen worse.
All right. When will the official announcement come for the Vita about the release date? I think it will be most likely be announced at the Tokyo Game Show. What are your guesses, predictions, or what were your guesses, predictions, but were wrong? Jacob, you need to read your email before you send it in. How many times do you have to tell you? The Beyond Nation takes email very seriously. So if you send something to beyond@ign.com, give it a little read through. Give it a little read through.
Also,
That's
we get a million emails, so I don't understand
Yeah.
why Greg would pick an email that doesn't make any sense.
We'll give you a free pass, Jacob, on
Maybe
this
in his
one.
mind, it read a lot funnier.
Yeah, what,
I
what
think
do
the
you
TGS will get the release
get the
date.
release date?
We'll get at least the Japanese release date, right? Because it'd be out 2 or 3 months, assuming it's not delayed.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get all territories, but
Oh,
What's wrong?
Colin, what's going on, buddy?
Nothing.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
All right. Hey guys, another. He's looking for a pen.
Oh.
Well, why didn't
Thanks.
you just ask me for one?
Thank you.
There you go.
I just wanted to make a note.
Okay. Anyway, so here we go. Going on to a question from Dan, who writes, does the Beyond staff think that the HD remix of games such as Metal Gear an indication that game companies is an indication that the game companies may be running out of fresh ideas? To me, it seems kind of like a band who is running dry on fresh music and puts together a greatest hits album to keep the cash flow from drying up. Thoughts?
no, I think these HD collections are basically marketing driven, like. Because there's gonna be a new Zone of Enders game, we assume, because they're putting out an HD collection. They wouldn't
Right.
put out an HD collection if they're not going to release a new Zone of Enders game.
I think it's a clever way to get people involved. Like you said, like Team Yoko Collection's coming out because we're gonna get Last Guardian, and I don't really know why the God of War Collection's coming out, to be honest. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid and Zone of the Enders and things of this nature. It's a nice way to get those games back out there and trophy enable them, clean them up a little bit, put them in widescreen. I think that's cool. You don't have to buy them, and they're cheaper.
Steph, agree,
Right.
disagree?
Yeah, and the video games industry is not the only industry that does that. Like movies get upgraded to Blu-ray all the time. So
Good point.
yeah.
Let's see what else we have. Here's one from there it is. Lazy Bones 9000.
Lazy Bones.
I want to know who the other 8,999 or whatever. No, 8,009. Whatever.
Just read the
going.
email.
All right.
Numbers.
Thanks, Jim. I'll
No,
take my
read the
goddamn
fucking
time.
email.
Stephanie, Lazy Bones has
Yes?
something for you.
Really?
Would you like to see a mode in Arkham City where you see kapow, bam, and brain damage pop up when Batman lands a blow on enemies?
Sure, that'd be exciting.
Comic book mode.
How do we know that's not already in the game?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see it.
The game seems too somber and serious for that to really fly.
I mean, they do have character skins of like the Batman animated series ones. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we'll see it. Comic book mode.
Game's gonna be awesome.
Make it happen.
I'm really
I
excited.
keep forgetting it's coming out.
This question
It's
is
2 months away.
This question from Lazy Bones had a 3-parter. This one's for me. Ryan, how badly would you like to see an over-the-top "my God" moment in Skyrim? I would love that. Now I've just been on the lookout for "my God" moments ever since we talked about it.
My God.
My God. And Colin,
Yes,
who likes Mega Man?
I do.
Sorry, I don't know much about the Mega Mans. I think that was it.
That was it?
Yeah, he just wanted.
You
to
should
hear.
learn more about it.
And then there's the Info Boy comment here that I'm passing over. Let's see. Here's one from. Well, that one's kind of long.
How are we doing on time here?
Well, we've been recording for it's been over 50 minutes. Not too bad.
We could wrap it soon.
Dear Beyond, Colin, these new rules are horse shit.
Yeah.
I'm a level 9 PSN user with 4 platinums. I've been listening to Beyond every week since episode 150, and I go on IGN every day. Why the hell can't I be on your friends list? This is from Cole.
I don't know, because I just wanted to have a...
Look at that! You're making poor Cole cry over there.
I don't think Cole was
'Cause
crying.
Your
It was
complicated, convoluted list of.
How did you arrive at level 12 specifically?
He wants hardcore trophy people.
I want people to have a lot of trophies. And frankly, level 12 is nothing compared to how long it took us to get to level 18.
It just
the
felt
trophies...
like an arbitrary number.
No, we were originally settling on 10, and then we were talking to Greg, and I'm like, how do you feel about level 12? And he's like, that seems fair to me.
But what if you're like me, who only wants quality platinums, not quantity of platinums? I'm not playing fucking Hannah Montana.
I didn't play Hannah Montana.
Yes, you did.
No,
Don't lie.
I don't have a platinum in Hannah Montana.
Greg does though.
And so does Clements.
Did you really play it?
I reviewed Hannah Montana. That's why.
And they
I
mailed
have
a copy
platinum.
to
I started that
USP.
shit. I'm the original Hannah Montana Platinum owner. All right, guys, don't you fucking forget it. All right. At this point in the year, which game has surprised you the most? Not necessarily the best game, but what caught you completely off guard? This is from Ronald.
Well, I don't play any games, so Colin.
Okay, Colin.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I feel
it is.
like Catherine actually was kind of the game that blew me away.
Yeah, caught you off
and
guard.
honestly, Catherine is probably my favorite game of the year so far. So,
Really? Goodness.
yeah. I mean, what else came out this year that's really compelling?
Portal 2.
I haven't played that game yet.
Did that catch anybody off guard that it was going to be good
No,
though?
no.
Yeah. Did
Actually,
anything surprise you?
Catherine didn't really surprise me either because like Atlas has a knack for finding these really quality, kind of obscure gems. Well,
Yeah.
I guess not obscure.
I would actually agree.
Yeah.
I kind of knew Catherine was going to be
Right.
awesome before it hit. I guess it's not out yet, but it will be. Renegade Ops. That surprised me as to how good that's going to be. So
Is that the downloadable game?
That's the downloadable game from the Just Cause 2 guys. Comes out next month.
What about
Everybody-
Rochard?
Oh yeah, Rochard's going to be good. I just forgot when that comes out.
I think it
it's
comes out in
this year
October.
also, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
But the-
Rochard's going to be fun.
The listener asked current or games that are already out though, right?
yeah.
Well, it just
Right.
says at this point in the year, what game surprised you the most? And those games are coming out this year. So
Well, for me, for games that have been released, Bastion.
Bastion's
I guess for me, I was surprised about how bad Ellie Noire was.
Yeah, I haven't been.
That
I haven't
wasn't
been
the question,
I haven't been
Jim.
compelled about. Actually, that's actually a good question. That's a good answer because LA Noire and Killzone 3 surprised me in how underwhelming they were. But I actually liked LA Noire. I'm just not compelled to.
I
feel like Ellie Noire was gonna be.
I'm never going back.
I feel like
it
LA
was
Noire was going to be a
boring.
10 or whatever. And Killzone 3 I thought was like way underwhelming. I was like, man, this game's boring. You
Yeah.
know?
I felt that way about Dead Space 2. Sorry, Warren.
So.
All right, well there you go. And let's. There. You have something else to say?
No,
buddy?
that's it. I was just saying that's it. Is that it?
No, yeah, we have one more thing. Greg has a highlighted and red circled "Please Pimp" sign at the end.
So don't
we are
pimp
going
it.
we're going to be pimping some IGN PAX information. You guys ready? There is an IGN PAX panel on Friday at 1:30 in the Serpent Theater. So if you are at PAX this weekend, make sure you go to the Serpent Theater, 1:30 on Friday. There's also a party Friday at 6 o'clock at GameWorks, excuse me. And then, very important, Damon is playing a show and showing off a music video. I think they're actually
He's
recording
DJing.
a music video.
He's DJing or something.
But he's DJing. He's going to be DJing, I believe it's a dubstep show, on Saturday at
What
10
is this-
o'clock at Temple Billiards.
What is this dubstep I keep hearing about?
Dubstep is Colin just was talking about this with me this morning, right?
Yes.
Weren't we?
Yes.
Dubstep. I mean, I'm no music expert. You know, I'm not a Damon Hatfield, but I'm under the impression that dubstep is just a genre, like a subgenre of electronic music, which is a little harder
on the bass.
Kids these days and their music.
It's everybody describes it as dirty. It's not. It doesn't have the sort of steady rhythm that like a lot of house or trance music has. It's kind of more. It varies a lot. It changes. It shifts. It is morphing.
So it's for people that like to bring glow sticks to shows?
Actually, no. I wouldn't. I would. Well, maybe. I guess you can bring glow stick to whatever show you want.
Yeah, you can bring whatever you want.
But dubstep's like one of my new favorite genres of music. I love dubstep. Love it.
Yeah.
But you have to have the right audio system for it. You can't
Sure.
listen to like you can't listen to dubstep in regular headphones.
I'm gonna call it dude step.
Dude step.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, a
See
lot
who
of
corrects
a lot
me.
of girls like dubstep also.
Call it dude step.
Okay.
You can go to a dubstep club in your $1,000 suit.
Yeah.
Yes. I have not found
Do
my hot
that.
date yet.
I am
Info boy.
Dying to see you in this $1,000 suit.
I'm dying to show it off. Trust me. I put it on every
Where
night
to
and wear it around. Make sure it still looks good.
Why do you have $1,000?
Because I've told the story before.
Did you actually buy it?
I went to go just check it out a suit. I need to get a new suit. Went to Hugo Boss at the Westfield Mall.
That's
Alright.
nice.
Tried on a suit. There was this nice assistant that's helped me out, and I trust her opinion. And I tried it on. I looked good in it, probably the best I've ever looked. And I was like, you know what? I just gotta buy this. So I just bought it.
And $1,000.
It was like $10.50, and that doesn't even include the shoes yet. I haven't even bought shoes.
Are you going to?
The shoes I was looking at are about $300. So in total,
over $1,000 on a suit.
I tell you what, I look so damn good in the suit.
You're a video game editor. You're not like the fucking Men's Warehouse dude.
Yeah, well, when
I
you save money,
guarantee
when
it.
you save your money for 2.5 years,
You're
I'm
forgetting
impressed.
that Jim is also the guy that spends $85 on a haircut.
Well, I do that.
it's not a haircut; it's an experience.
I pay more than Jim does for my hair.
You both
yeah,
pay
so
more than
get out of here, all right?
I shave my own head.
That's the cheapest option.
Yes.
No,
And
so
Colin
I'm-
still looks smashing.
Well, I will debut my suit on Twitter at some point in the form of a photograph, but it has to be.
How else would you debut it on Twitter?
I don't know.
Just describe it.
just
Describe
wearing
it.
the suit.
It's like an ASCII image of it.
No. But I do try it on from time to time in my apartment, just to try it on, just to wear it, just to walk around, make sure I look cool in it.
Yeah.
It smells really good too. I don't know if it's the fabric softener they use in it, or if it's like they spray it with some sort of.
Well, new stuff usually does smell good.
Yeah.
I'll
But is
tell
it
you
like
that.
is it like a cologne they spray on it just to like?
Yeah, for sure.
I have to figure out this cologne they sprayed on it.
Probably a Hugo Boss cologne.
I can't believe you spent that much money.
Looks damn good.
on a suit. Well, I'm sure it looks lovely, but you could probably get an equally good-looking suit for $200.
No,
But then you wouldn't feel quite as like, I don't know, amazing in it. Like,
costs a lot to look good.
I would.
It's
How
almost
much?
like-
It's
$200
very
is a lot
expensive
of
to look
money.
good.
Yeah, bullshit.
I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't spend that much. I mean, I like to buy.
I've seen very beautiful-looking monks that they're just wearing robes, and that's all they need.
Yeah, I
I'm telling you, if you
couldn't-
put
$1,000 is a
on
lot
my
of money.
suit, which was fitted for my body,
Yes.
if you put it on though, you feel like $1 million. You feel like you're top shit.
Well, for $1,000, I mean, you feel
You feel like
that.
$1,000.
and I don't
about
think
10,
personally $1,000 really isn't a lot for a suit.
No, it is not for a corporate CEO. It's not a lot of money, but for a
us.
video game editor, it's a lot of money.
For a 26-year-old video game
Come
journalist,
on, no,
yeah,
no,
that's a lot of
let's
money.
Not,
27.
Let's not, let's not rain on his parade.
Oh no, I'm
Too late.
I'm sure the suit is phenomenal. I mean, if you paid $1,000 as a Hugo Boss $1,000 suit, I'm sure it's phenomenal. I'm just saying, I'm surprised that you would want to spend that much money instead of, I don't know, buying something else.
I could die tomorrow. Why not just buy it?
Yeah, it's his money anyways.
Jeez. All right. I mean, that's true. We all, our times are very precious.
Well, look, I mean, I don't have cable, right? I don't really have any expenses beyond food.
How much is your PG&E bill every month? This is my favorite.
It's like $14.
Because you have one light bulb.
And
in your
so I
apartment.
accidentally left my iron plugged in yesterday.
Oh man.
I got back. I was scared to death because I don't know how many wattages this thing.
Oh, it's not gonna be bad, but that's actually
that's
scarier
like
for a
that's like a
fire.
20
Yeah, for a
25
fire,
cents.
but I think it's gonna be like an extra $2 or $3 probably.
Oh God.
I love how
Is
your,
iron.
your PG nibbles $14.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Hey guys, well that was a good show, wasn't it?
I enjoyed it.
Remember, guys, you can find all of us at well, not all of us. You can find Greg, Damon, and Anthony at PAX. Look out for them. Come to the IGN events.
There's also a One Up podcast or something going on.
Oh yes, I don't have the details.
It's
for that,
it's after it, but look it up.
Okay.
There's something going on afterwards. I don't know the time.
You can find our friends at One Up then at PAX as well. And remember, follow all of us on Twitter. If you so choose, you will be rewarded handsomely with endless entertainment.
And if you buy Demon Souls, take a photo of it and I'll retweet you with it. But make sure it's sealed though. I don't want you to just take a copy off a GameStop shelf and then take a photo of it. No, I'm gonna know.
You'll know.
So it has to be shrink wrapped.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, And follow me at Pwam Cider, Pwam Cider. Amazing, by the way, that some people still ask how it's spelled. We do spell it on every show. Just listen to the podcast.
How do you write into the podcast?
Beyond at IGN.com is where you go for all your questions, comments, concerns, and love. Also, Jim,
Yep.
where can people follow you on Twitter?
It's just my name.
Jim Reilly.
No space.
That's it. Colin is no taxation.
Yes.
all
Can
Can
one
you
word.
explain the no taxation?
Yeah, it's a reference to no taxation without
Yeah, I
representation.
know, but why is it your name?
Because I love the American Revolution and I love small government.
Okay.
And I hate taxes. Hate.
Stephanie.
Well, you're in the right
Taxes.
state then.
Yes, Anna, aren't I?
And you can follow me on Twitter as well, SuperLee7. Actually, it's SuperLeet. So, just so you know.
Wait, what?
I get it. The 7 is for the T.
Right.
I see. But it is Super Lee 7.
Yes.
All one word.
I had just assumed there was
LEE.
6 other Super Lees.
LEE.
Yeah, well, there are. There probably are
See what I did
6
there?
other Stephanie Lees. Super Leet. I like that now. Now that makes a lot more sense
It
to
does.
me. I wish you would have said that some before.
Well, I figured
All right, enough about this.
if
Let's wrap
people
this
are
up.
nerdy enough, they would
Jim,
have
shut the
picked
fuck
it up.
up.
Thanks for listening to Podcast Beyond.
Anyways,
Yeah, you don't think you can hijack the show. I can kill your mic anytime I want, bro. Info boy.
Yeah. This is the last time I'm coming on.
For real, thank you
Seriously.
for coming on the show. Thank
thanks
you,
for-
Stephanie.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you, Colin. As always.
Thank you,
were
Clements.
beautiful
I
today.
can't wait to write the article and introduce Jim as Info Boy.
Oh my God, it's gonna be good. And also remember, you can get everything at IGN.com. Follow IGN on Twitter, and we will see you next week.
Sure.
With Greg on. There's a bunch of people milling outside the podcast. What is going on?
I think
out
they're
there? It was like a
looking
party.
to like show off the room.
Got it.
Like, taking a tour. I don't know.
Well, they gotta wait for Beyond.
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 There you go.
Jesus.
Ryan had a glare at me.
Oh, hey guys, it's Ryan. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm in an empty room by myself right now. Everyone else left. Listen, here's the deal. After we were doing the Beyonds, in the heat of the moment, I totally forgot to introduce the song. The song for this week. The one tradition that I have so celebrated over the years, 203 episodes, and I totally forgot to talk about it. I'm sorry. And I figured with everybody else gone, maybe this is Ryan time. Maybe this is Ryan time where I can talk to you once again. I rarely get the opportunity to talk to you guys. Let's read one last letter for this week from Michael. Michael writes, Dear Beyond, please accept my humble offering of a song from my first album. The song is called Stars, and the album is due for release on Monday, the 29th of August. I record under the name Eden, but my real name is Michael O'Hare. Also, if this gets played at the end of Beyond, then the first 5 listeners to email me at edenmusic@gmail.com, that's music with a K, M-U-S-I-K, edenmusic@gmail.com, will receive a code for a free download of my album. Keep up the good work, and as always, Beyond. Thank you very much, Michael. I'm sorry I didn't get to your email on the show proper, but at least we can listen to your song now. And you know what? Because I rarely get a chance... Goodness, I just took my glasses off and it made a big squeak. Because I rarely get the chance to talk to all you guys when we're alone, when we can just listen to each other, I'm going to talk about something that's very important to me. You know what's important? Love. So let's talk about that. For all you guys out there, all you guys and gals, you know that special someone maybe you have a crush on, maybe you've been fawning after for a while, but you're a little too afraid to go after them. Maybe you're not sure if they like you. Maybe they're just friends and you want to take it a step further. Well, guess what? I have faith in you. Today, you should go and give them a little message. Go after it. Maybe give it a shot. Send them a nice note. Talk to them. Give them a call. See how they're doing. Go for it. Ryan Clements from Podcast Beyond supports your endeavors for romantic fulfillment. Have fun. Live life a little bit. You'll enjoy it.